Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to cover everyone's favorite topic, and that is stimulus checks. Free money from the government coming directly to you, except that's not going to happen. I'm once again posting a video saying that there will not be a second stimulus check this year. On my channel, I like to cover finance and investing topics, but I try and keep it simple. I only want relevant information for you. Useful stuff that you can use right now, today. And I covered this back on my channel on May 23rd. This was 30 or 40 videos ago. I made a video titled, "There Will Not Be a Second Stimulus Check." And I meant second stimulus check this year. And to summarize that video, politics is complicated. There's an election coming up. I don't think they're going to be able to make a deal. We'll go over the specifics of that, but I basically want to just reflect on what's been happening in the YouTuber community that I belong to. Let's do a reconstruction here of the timeline. The pandemic hit in February and March. The CARES Act was passed by Congress in March. The president signed it into law. $2.6 trillion spending bill. It includes small business loans, corporate tax cuts, funding for testing and state and local governments, in addition to that $1,200 stimulus check that every taxpayer got. And wow, people love getting free money, except it's not really free money. You pay taxes, so it was more like a tax cut. And since then, I just don't get it. The YouTube community niche that I was part of, it just keeps going. You know, there's a series of channels that were close to myself in size. Pointers is one of them. He's got 185,000 subscribers now. I think he was around 10 or 15, maybe 20 before all this hit. And yeah, he's putting out daily stimulus check videos, getting 25,000 views, 47,000 views. Same thing with Wise Flies. He was around 10, 15, 20,000 subscribers. Just daily stimulus checks videos, 28,000, 33,000. If ever he makes a video that is not about stimulus checks, you know, this is him saying he's giving to charities, boom, 6.5 thousand views, nobody cares. Go back to stimulus check videos. Another good channel is Travel Explore Click. I really like this guy. He's up to 151,000 views. And likewise, if he tries to post on a topic not related to stimulus checks, doesn't get any views. Brian Jung, same thing. He had a pretty big channel before all this hit anyways, but he completely flipped his normal content, and he's always posting, you know, second stimulus check officially confirmed, expected soon, $1,200 checks, official, new stimulus money. Let's see, if he doesn't post about stimulus checks, here's a video, how I saved over 100,000 in my 20s, only 12,000 views. But the day before he got 71,000, the day after 97,000. As long as it has that magic word stimulus check in the title of the video. And of course, the king of stimulus check videos, the go-to source is Clear Value Tax. He posted yesterday 545,000 views, 500,000 views. Talking about, I didn't watch the video, but talking about what? Congress is in recess. Everyone's gone. Nobody is working on this. Let's go ahead and talk about what's been going on here. And we'll first recap the proposal put forward by the Democrats and the proposal put forward by the Republicans. The Democrats in the House at least unveiled their plan back in May, I think. And, you know, they said, let's get this done. Let's get it on the books so that, you know, everybody has time to implement it. And for whatever reason, Republicans are like, no, let's wait until 2 weeks before the unemployment benefits expire and then work on it. So when you look at the bottom line price tag for the Democrats, they proposed $3 trillion in stimulus spending. The Republicans proposed only $1 trillion. And there's some pretty stark differences between these two proposals. Democrats wanted to extend $600 employment benefits for federal insurance every week. Republicans wanted to knock that down to $200. For COVID testing, Democrats wanted $75 billion. Republicans wanted only a third of that, $35 billion. For stimulus checks, stimulus payments, Democrats wanted $6,000 per household. Republicans wanted to keep it at $1,200 per person, $500 per dependent. For state and local governments, many state and local governments are in fiscal trouble. They're going to have severe budget shortfalls, bankruptcies potentially. Democrats wanted to supply $1 trillion. Republicans wanted to supply nothing. For educational assistance, Democrats wanted to spend $300 billion. Republicans only $100, and they wanted to tie this to forcing universities and schools to go back to in-person instruction. Hazard pay for essential workers, Republicans nothing, Democrats $200 billion. Payroll protection, okay, nothing. Lawsuit immunity, this is a big one. Democrats don't want to give immunity from lawsuits for employers who force their employees to go back to work when they reopen. Republicans wanted to give blanket immunity so that if you were to get sick, become permanently disabled, or die from going to work, then you can't sue, Walmart or whatever company you worked for. There's some other minor differences, but the big one is Democrats also want to protect the post office. What with the election coming up in November and a majority of Americans going to be requesting absentee and mail-in ballots, they want to make sure that the Postal Service can handle this traffic of mail and that everyone's vote is counted. Republicans want to privatize the post office, and they don't view this as a priority. So in order to pass an entire stimulus package, they have to agree. They have to compromise on all of these points. And I'm going to be honest, I knew they weren't going to do it. I knew it wasn't going to happen. If anybody remembers the fiscal cliff of 2010, back during the 2008 financial collapse, what led to budget shortfalls, it ended up triggering automatic cuts to both the military and to other civilian agencies. And it's just tough. It's tough, if this had happened a year ago, 2019, not in an election year, yeah, I think they would have maybe had been able to compromise and make something happen. But the way it works with partisan politics in America is I think that both sides, well, first of all, the overwhelming majority of our House members do not live in competitive House districts. Because of gerrymandering and the way the districts are drawn by legislatures themselves, it's just not competitive. There's only about 30 to 60 House seats that in every given election cycle that are truly competitive. The other 390 aren't, so those people feel safe. They feel confident that if they don't have a deal and they go back to their districts, they can convince their constituents, who are going to vote for them anyways, that it's the other side's fault. Both sides are doing this. In addition to the Senate, 2/3 of the Senate is not up for election this year. There's a lot of senators who are vulnerable right now in both parties, who would love to compromise, who would love to just get this done and do what's best for the country. But 2/3 of the Senate, they're not up for re-election, and they're confident that in 2 or 4 years when they're up for re-election, nobody's going to remember this because we'll have new problems to deal with. And what sealed the deal, in my opinion, that killed any potential of a stimulus package being passed before the November election was Trump signing these executive orders or these executive memorandums on 4 issues. One of them being a recommendation to freeze housing evictions. 2, I think it was student loans, basically the interest on your student loans, if you have them, these are only federal, not private. Federal student loans will be extended. Unemployment will be extended $400 a week as long as there's some stipulations that the states kick in 25%. There's still a lot to figure out with that, but there's apparently money left over from the first stimulus package that the Treasury is confident that they can use to extend this new round of unemployment insurance. And then the 4th one was payroll tax deferments. I already covered that in a video last week where they're saying they're deferring your Social Security tax on your income. However, that means you still have to pay it back in January or when you do your taxes next year in April or May. I don't see that happening. So I think regardless of the outcome of the election, Congress will probably have to forgive that debt because who's going to have the money to pay that back? So by what the president did, by relieving this pressure, by at least getting some economic aid to Americans for the next 90 days through these executive orders, executive memorandums, there's even less of an incentive now for Congress to compromise and to pass something before the election. Another component that is relieving the pressure for Congress to compromise and make a deal is that the stock market is back at all-time highs. So the S&P 500 was 3386. I think in trading on Friday or Thursday, it did hit 3386. It then closed at 3372 on Friday. So the stock market's back at all-time highs. If you're in the investor class or you have a 401k, you're doing just fine again. The first CARES Act was passed probably, March 19th or 20th or somewhere near this dip. And then the stock market started to recover. This just has a calming effect on the investor class. Those are the people who make campaign donations. So this isn't about what Jake Bro, would like to see happen. I'm just making this video to say these are the facts. This is what has happened. And on my channel, I would be happy to make a stimulus check video when there's details to give, when there's news to give. But there's not. There's literally nothing to tell you that is relevant. And for these other YouTubers making these stimulus check videos every day, it's kind of a soap opera drama. I think there's a lot of people watching these videos every day, and it's just become kind of like this reality TV show, where the stars of the show are Mitch McConnell, Senate Majority Leader, Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House. It's this Game of Thrones-esque power struggle. But there are a lot of people out there who are struggling, who are hurting, who really could use a stimulus check to help them get through this pandemic. And I don't want to make daily videos because I don't want to give anyone false hope. I'll report the facts and tell you what you need to know when you need to know it. But for a lot of these other channels, they're just making videos every day because people keep watching them. And once again, to my fellow creators, you're filling the demand. The demand is there. You make the videos. People keep watching them. You're doing what you're supposed to do. But maybe when you make these videos, be a little bit more honest with your audience and, don't have clickbaity titles and thumbnails saying official news, second stimulus check confirmed. I don't think that's true, and it's kind of misleading. It is what it is, I guess. Okay guys, if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up so the algorithm knows it's good. In addition, consider subscribing to my channel. I will post again in the future when a stimulus package is passed by Congress and signed by the president, and there's actually news and facts to deliver to you. And if you have any comments or questions about anything, let me know down below. I love hearing from you guys. And until the next video, take care.